All right, Holly, thanks for coming here and hanging out with me this afternoon. I wanted to, get you on because, anyone's story can really inspire somebody else who might be going through the same thing. So, and I do love your story. So I'm super pumped that you're here. So why don't you start by just telling everybody a little bit about yourself and your background?
So my name is Holly. I am a new mom and a new wife. And that's basically the reason that I came to Evolve in the first place. We were struggling with infertility for quite a while. So I was pumping myself full of all these hormones and drugs and all these things, trying to get pregnant. Then finally got pregnant, had a baby, and I was like, all right, it is time to get my life back. It is time to get back to who I am and who I was prior to this journey. But I needed a little bit of help with that because I was on the older side of being a new mom. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's a really challenging thing to go through. And so it can be hard, especially when you don't have like the support like in your health and fitness too. So I know your husband's really into health and fitness as well. And you could have easily been like, Carl, help me. And he probably would have, but I think that it's super awesome that you're like, you know what, this is for me. So that's cool. So yeah, where were you when you started Evolve, and where are you at now, or like what successes have you had along the way?
Well, I think one of the biggest thing that Evolve has helped me with is my confidence. So when I started with Evolve, my whole life, I've never been an athlete. I've never been anyone that played sports. I've never been part of any of that ever. I just went to work and came home and ate. And so Evolve has helped me with my confidence in the gym. When I did start my workout journey prior to Evolve, I always felt like when I was inside of a gym, like I shouldn't be here. I don't belong. And that person over there, they don't want me to use those weights because, I'm not as serious as they are or whatever it was. But after like working out with you and being around Ian and just the whole atmosphere of like-minded people, like I realized like they don't worry about what I'm doing in here. Like I belong here just like anybody else does. So confidence is definitely the number one thing. And as far as food goes, you guys have changed my relationship with food as a whole, because prior to that, I used food as more of a crutch. I guess that they call it comfort food for a reason. So if I was sad, I would eat, and then I would be sad that I ate. So, and it was just like this big, circle of eating and being sad. And my coach Ian helped me realize that like, hey, there's no such thing as a bad food. Like you just need to eat foods in moderation, and it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle change and all of those things. And it has really become a lifestyle change for me. And yes, I could go to my husband for help, but with the food part of it, he's not the guy to go to. So like if I want to know how to lift the heaviest weight possible, I can go to him. But and he doesn't quite understand the struggles of what a woman would go through. And having the separate women's chat, the Fit Birds, I
Nice.
absolutely loved that I could go to a bunch of women that understood what I was going through at the same time.
That's so powerful. So powerful. I mean, changing your relationship with food changes your life, honestly.
Absolutely.
Very cool.
Did you have
Um,
to eat 3 times a day? So it's something you can't ignore. You can't ignore eating.
Exactly. No, you
Yeah.
cannot. And coming from the fueling your body for your workouts. I know for you, when you were with us, you started CrossFit. You were doing more like Metcon boot camp style, then you went over to CrossFit. I mean, that transition, how was like your diet and your nutrition? How did that play into effect transferring over to something a little bit more with higher intensity?
Well, I noticed that I was at first when I switched over, I noticed that I was just extremely hungry.
Mm.
Like starving all the time, I felt like, but my body was never used to doing anything that hard. And I also was always very limiting myself to how much I would pick up, right? I was always like, oh, well, I'll just grab this little weight, but I was pushing my body to limits that I had never, ever pushed before. So I talked to my coach and he said, hey, let's up your protein. Let's do that. And making small changes really helped with my just overall working out, my level of fitness, my attitude at
Mm.
home, because if I was hungry, like you get
Yeah.
hangry, you have a little bit of attitude.
Sure. No, no, no. I
Yeah.
understand. That's super awesome. Well, what would you say to somebody who was like on the fence about getting started with Evolve, or maybe even just like macros and or introduction to macros in general?
Well, without the help of somebody that knows what they're talking about, you can Google things and you can get an app for macros and all of those things. But if you don't have somebody that's going to be there to encourage you to, one, keep going, to have the background and knowledge that, you know, my coach had and everyone at Evolve has, right? So you don't just work one-on-one with the coach, you work with your coach one-on-one, but you also have all of the other groups in the community of Evolve as well, like the podcast, all of it. So if you dive right in, you will not regret. You will get your results that you're looking for if you listen and do what your coach is telling you. And at one point, it just becomes a habit. You know, I think what does it take, 6 weeks or something to create a habit? But just going through, you're not going through the motions, but you know, having the app, having the background, having your coach, having the little things to tick off on your daily thing on your Evolve app, all of it helped me change my life around. I was trying to become a new mom. I wasn't trying to become a new mom. I became a new mom, and I was trying to figure out what life was like now with a new baby, and also trying to figure out how do I get my steps in and do all these things. And it wasn't intimidating like you would think. Some people are afraid to sign up with fitness coaches because they think it's just going to be like a drill sergeant boot camp type thing. But I couldn't do the same thing as somebody that worked a 60-hour week, or the same thing that somebody, you know, had a child going to daycare, or somebody that didn't have a kid, right? So my coach was able to make what works for my life and what I was going through at the time. And when you have a child, the first 6 weeks are different from the 3-month mark and the 5-month mark. And then they start walking and you're doing all these different things. So he kept evolving with me as my life was evolving.
Love it.
Yeah.
So cute. Wow, wow. What a story. I hope this inspires other new moms to, you know, go down this journey, because I can see, and everybody in Evolve can see, like, your confidence has, like, grown and skyrocketed. And we saw the changes in you, like, not only physically, but like mentally as well. So that was really cool. So thank you for trusting us and letting us help you with this journey and help you with this part of your life. And I know, like, you're going to continue to be really successful because you have all the tools.
Yes. And thanks to all of you at Evolve.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thanks.